Just a second. Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes, we can see that.
Okay, great. Okay, let me make it bigger. So you can see my slide, right? So I cannot read here the chat. That's why you can give me your answers orally. So you can see my slide, right?
Yes, Akilke, we can see it.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, I'll start now. So, dear applicants, thank you very much for joining today our webinar. Before our faculty members will give detailed information about each program in our school, I would like to give you some information about our school. So Graduate School of Education, as you know, or maybe you don't know, it was established in 2012. This year, we are celebrating our 10 years anniversary. So so far we have in our school we have 25 brilliant faculty members from all around the world, and we have our active students whose number reaches up to 200, and more than 50 of them are our PhD doctoral students. Also, our students are not only local ones, but we also have some international students. So currently we have 15 active international students from 8 countries. And also the number of our alumni members is also increasing. Currently we have more than 600 alumni who are working in Kazakhstan and abroad as well. So at GSE, we have 3 educational programs. The first one is MSc in Educational Leadership Program, which has 3 specializations: higher education, inclusive education, and school education. We also have MA in Multilingual Education Program and a PhD in Education Program. To this webinar, we've invited the program directors and the program liaisons of each of these programs and the specializations, and they will talk about each program in details a few minutes later. Okay, so I would like to introduce you with the speakers, with the GSE representatives on today's webinar. So my name is Akilke Ayaganova. I'm a Senior Manager for Academic and Student Affairs. If you are enrolled in the GSE programs successfully, I will be working with you to support you during your journey here at GSE. Also, we have here my colleague, Elmira Tukanaeva. She is also Senior Manager for Academic and Student Affairs. She will be also helping you during your studies here at GSE if you are successfully enrolled. We have here Michelle Bedeker, who is an assistant professor and a program director of Multilingual Education Program. We have Professor Mira Vzal, who is an associate professor here, and he's a program director for PhD in Education Program. We have Dusan Shamatov, who is an associate professor and program director of MSc in Educational Leadership Program. We have also 3 program liaisons within the MSc in Education Leadership Program. So the first one is Oliver Mutanga. He is an assistant professor and the program liaison for inclusive education specialization. We have Karat Kurakbayev. He's an assistant professor and the program liaison for school education program. And Alper Chalikoglu, he's also assistant professor and the program liaison for higher education specialization. We've also invited to this webinar our colleague, manager from admissions department, Alwa Karimova. She will talk about the application process and how you can successfully submit your application in order to be enrolled to our program. And if you have some specific question about the application process, about filling in the application form, you can ask your questions to Alwa. Also, we've invited to this webinar our current student Manat Sergazina, who is in educational leadership, higher education second year program. She is also currently working at a new GSE as a research assistant within the Karsit Central Asian Research Center for Education, Innovation and Transformation. She will share with her current experience as a current active student at GSE. And we have also here Stanislav Hanin. He is our PhD graduate, and currently he is a lead game designer at MediaNet. So he will share his past experience as a graduate of our school. So if we tell briefly about so we will start with the PhD education program. Mira will elaborate on that. After each presentation, you can ask your questions, and we will talk about then initiating educational leadership program. Dishon Shamatov, Karat Krokpaev, Alper Chalikoglu, and Oliver Mutanga will talk about them. Then we will talk about in multilingual education program. The speaker will be Michelle Badeker, and Manat Sergazina will share with her current experience of studying at the GSE, and the Stas will talk about her experience of studying at the GSE as a graduate of the GSE. And at the end, we will ask our colleague Alua to give you some advice on completing a successful application form in order to be enrolled to the GSE. Okay, I hope our program is clear.
Mirka, we can't hear you. Akerke, your voice disappeared.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can hear you. Okay, but could you hear me while I was presenting? Okay, so so we will start with the MSc in Educational Leadership program. Yeah. So Dushon, I think I've made you a presenter. You can start sharing your presentation.
Okay, just give me a minute. I need to see whether I can use it properly.
Okay.
Trying to. It's not showing, right?
Not yet. We cannot see your screen.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to share it again. Probably maybe one of my colleagues, maybe Oliver, Khairat, or Alper, if one of you could share, and we can just go through it, because I think that I am also new in this.
If you would like, I can share my screen.
Yeah, please do it.
Okay. Just a second. So this Microsoft is good, but it's a bit slow comparing to Zoom.
Yeah.
That's why it takes some time. Okay. Okay, this is PhD. And this
is one, yeah.
Yes, okay. So,
well,
okay.
Very good. And I can ask you to go to the next now.
Okay.
Dear friends, welcome to this webinar. And I will not take too much time of introducing ourselves because we were already introduced. We will take about 25 minutes and we will leave 5 minutes for questions. And my colleagues, 3 excellent colleagues, will help me to describe our programs in three specializations. Can you go to the next slide, please? In the next slide, I am going to talk about really MSc Educational Leadership in 3 specializations. More details will come from my colleagues. This is higher education, inclusive education, school education. Why educational leadership? Dear friends, we are not preparing leaders in the traditional sense. We are not preparing directors. We are not preparing rectors. Actually, we work on helping our students to develop skills to bring any changes and reforms at any level. So this is we want to explain from the beginning. Can you go to the next slide, please? Well, MSc, you can see that our target students or our candidates may be from different education settings. They can be from schools, they can be from universities, they can be from education centers. It doesn't matter whether it's a private or public. So we will be accepting any candidate who is strong and who is eligible. But also you can see that we will be really heavily, our programs are research focused heavy. So we will be, the students will be attending the courses on research, and also at the end of the master's program, 2 years program, they will be writing master thesis. So Akarike, can you go to the next slide, please? And also, if you have questions, please write them down, and we will try to comment also in the chat. But also, you are welcome to ask it by switching on your mic. Akarike, next slide, please. This is a statistics of how many students we have in 3 specializations. We have year 1 and year 2 students. Year 2 students are completing their program. They are writing their thesis. Year 1 students now they are learning. They are attending different courses. Maybe we also have more than 20 faculty members, professors, who with all of them with a PhD degrees from top universities abroad, international top universities. So you already see minimum 4 faculty members from our program here. Akarike, next slide, please. And the next slide, main difference of MSc program, dear friends, is that our program, what we call is a low residency. What do we mean by that? Our program is not full-time. You do not need to come to Astana full-time for MSc program. You can stay in your own country, in your own city. You can continue to work there, but you need to come to Astana, Nazarbayev University, I think 3 times a year during for intensive classes. And this is a 2 or 3 weeks of intensive classes. Usually you attend the classes from morning till evening. Every day will be classes. Other time, when you are in your own home cities, you will be continuing doing some online tasks. So this is what we want to communicate. But of course, this is a very suitable program for many candidates because they don't have to move to Kazakhstan, Astana on full-time basis. But also it can be demanding because you continue working, but you need to really juggle all these family commitments at your work, and also being our student. Please, next slide. And this is a program learning outcomes. I don't need to go through them because you can still find them in our website. But these program learning outcomes were developed by our faculty members jointly because this is what we promised that our master students will develop from our programs. You can read them from the slides from the website later on, but these are really very doable learning outcomes. Please, next slide, Akerke. And this is, dear friends, this is our curriculum. These are core courses. Every student will be attending these courses. Educational leadership is compulsory course. Contextualizing education reform in Kazakhstan and beyond is also is a required course. Management in education, research methods. Actually, you have 3 research methods courses, and academic writing in Kazakh and the academic English. These are core courses. In the next slide, you can see that we also have electives. So students can elect, like inclusive education, you can see the options, school education, you can see options, and higher education, there are different options. We hope that all the courses, core courses and elective courses together, they help us to achieve our learning outcomes. If you have any questions on our electives or core courses, we can respond. Please go to the next slide. This is really time, dear friends. Now I will invite Alper to talk about our program in higher education. So Alper, if you can help us to go through the program of master's program education leadership in higher education, because as I mentioned, students will be studying in 3 specializations. You can choose either higher education, school education, or inclusive education. And my friend, my colleague Alper, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dušan. I hope everyone can hear me well.
Yep.
Can you?
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you everyone again for your interest in our programs and for joining us today. My name is Alper. I'm the higher education liaison person in Education Leadership Master of Science program here. I'm an assistant professor and my specialization is in higher education. So I will keep it brief, but I just want to tell about something our potential candidates who can be a candidate for this higher education specialization in Master of Science in Educational Leadership program. We are interested in candidates, or you can just become interested in our program if you have any professional engagement in tertiary education sector, or if you have any professional interest in tertiary education sector. It doesn't mean that you have to be currently working in a university or at a college, but you can have some kind of interest professionally pursuing a career in a higher education institution. So you can be one of the candidates and you can apply for the program and learn about the necessary skills for your career or for your professional engagement. So basically, we here try to help you to gain skills that are required for leadership and research. So those 2 domains come together for you to lead the change in your own institutions when you graduate. This could be a higher education institution, this could be a college, this could be a governmental institution related to tertiary education, or your own initiative that you can run after your graduation. So that is why I encourage everyone who is interested, not just working in higher education. Perhaps you have some kind of previous experience when you were a bachelor's student in relation to higher education sector. So this makes you somehow a potential good candidate for our program. And if we go further to the next slide, how can you continue your career after your graduation? We usually have 2 distinct directions. Some of our graduates prefer to proceed with the doctoral studies, either abroad or in some other universities in Kazakhstan. So it is actually up to the candidate. A couple of our previous graduates successfully went to universities abroad for PhD. And also this is also possible for, like, if you want to pursue your career related to higher education sector, you can continue in your career in any relevant institution. It could be a government institution, as I said, it could be your own initiative related to higher education. So we help you to develop those skills during your journey here. And I hope you will be enjoying your time here if you will be with us in our programs. Thank you again for your interest. That'll be all from me. I'll be happy to answer your questions if you have any at the end of this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Aperke, can you go to the next slide? Because we still have 2 more programs. Oliver, our colleague Oliver, he himself also specializes in inclusive education. Oliver, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Dushon, and hello, everyone. Welcome to this session. So I'm going to speak about MSc in Education Leadership, Inclusive Education Specialization, where I'm also a professor. So this specialization is concerned about promoting equitable quality education for all students of all ages, regardless of one's background, one's sexuality, one's cultural, socio-economic background, disability. So it's concerned about learning opportunities for everyone. This specialization is relevant for people who are either working or are interested in working on advancing equity in education for all students across all different levels of education, from preschool education, primary school education, secondary school education, tertiary, or what we call higher education, and even post higher education, which we call lifelong learning throughout one's adulthood. So some of the issues that we look or we advance in this specialization is looking at students who might be having disabilities, all kinds of disabilities, students from rural areas or geographically spaced areas. We look at students from affluent families. We look at lecturers. We looked at pedagogical colleges. We look at preschool level education. We look at students who are gifted or exceptional students. So those are some of the issues that we look at. How are their education being catered for? Next slide. Yes, so I think what you can do after graduating with this program is almost the same as what Alpa has said, but maybe some things that are unique about this program is that you can advance further to doctoral level, either within Kazakhstan or in the region or even abroad. You can also pursue a career in various educational organizations, be it as teachers, be it as professors in universities. You can work in governmental organizations or in the government. You can also start your own non-governmental organizations. So these are some of the things that you can do after graduating from this course. I think that will be all for this course, this specialization. I'll hand it over to Kairat.
Yeah, thank you. Before my colleague Kairat speaks, dear participants, inclusive education educators of Nazarbayev University, they had been really instrumental in helping to shape a lot of changes in Kazakhstan and in the region, because in Central Asia, inclusive education is often seen as a special education, kind of a one-dimensional area. But I think if anyone applies to this inclusive education, you will be having really broader notion of inclusive education. Thank you, Oliver. And my colleague, Kairat, the school education, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Professor Dushon and everyone. So, Master of Science in Education Leadership, School Education Concentration. Obviously, it's all about schools. So if you aspire to be a policymaker, if you are right now a school administrator, a teacher, a specialist in the field of assessment, curriculum, and pedagogy, so this program is definitely for you. And as Akirke turns the slide, I'd like to make an important point is that when you see the phrase educational leadership, your research doesn't have to be on leadership per se. like I said before, it could be related to curriculum reforms, could be related to assessment, could be related to privatization within the secondary education system that's very prevalent across the world right now. So everything related to schools, but not necessarily leadership. Although the idea is that we nurture leadership capacities we help you to nurture your leadership capacities while you're here. So that's the title of the program. So please don't be misled. So again, graduates from this program specialization will be able to, as you see on the slide, kind of examine and focus on change. Right now, it's all about educational change. Wherever you go, it could be on the level of your region, your organization, or nationally. If you want to take a national perspective on educational change, if you want to advance in educational leadership positions, if it's part of your personal ambition, that's totally fine and normal. You can state that I want to be a school principal, I want to be a well-qualified curriculum specialist in the future. So this program is for you. If you want to run, like my colleagues have said, some NGOs in the field of education, you are definitely our students. And of course, if you want to do a doctoral study, if you want to engage in a kind of deep, high-scale doctoral research, this is part of your ambition. So we can help you to advance your study from master's level to doctoral level in the future. Not necessarily at GSE, but also internationally. We have so many alumni who finished successfully their master thesis, and then went on to study abroad for their PhDs. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Khairat. Akirke, if we can go to the next slide. Dear friends, you can see that our program has a lot of merits. So you will be studying in an environment, academic environment. It's fully international. We will have, I don't know, 70 to 80% of the professors from, let's say, from international background, far away, but they are all from various academic cultural backgrounds, from top universities I mentioned earlier. But also, it's a very convenient program for those people who may not be moving to Astana on permanent basis. You still want to keep your job, but you need to discuss with your employers. You don't want to just come here for our courses without notice of your employers. It's must that you need to discuss with them. But also, we will be also, I think the university provides accommodation, but it will be really, I think, something that Akirke can talk later, but dormitories are also provided, top quality dormitories. But students will also they have a lot of opportunities to attend student events, conferences, participate in journal article publications at GSE. But also you are eligible to win a grant. Like if you are Kazakhstani national, you can win a state grant. But if you are an international student, you can apply to this Nazarbayev University has grants like Abay Kunambayev grant and other grants. So there is a possibility, high possibility, if you are a strong candidate, you can win on the scholarship. But also one more thing, the students of MSc, similar to MA and the PhD, you will be writing your thesis at the end of the program, but your topic you will be choosing the topic. Your supervisors will only guide you. The final slide, maybe, Akirke, we will be finishing the final slide. Maybe I will ask my colleagues to chip in and maybe say a few words about who is the ideal candidate. Maybe candidates can read these slides on their screen. But Alper, Khairat, Oliver, do you want to comment on any of them? Because we don't need to say a lot of, because I think other colleagues will be presenting. Why don't you say maybe one or two of them? Khairat, one or two, Alper, one or two, Oliver, please.
I can start. Yeah. So as you see, the first point is passionate. We expect you to be passionate about education. We expect you to be embedded in this world of education. So even better if you come with a specific research agenda, but you don't have to come with a specific research agenda, because you can stay open-minded. And like Professor Dushon has said, you will discuss your potential research topic with your faculty advisor. But we expect you to be passionate about education, and we expect you to know the nuances about education. We expect you to draw on some other disciplines, not just on education per se, but let's say sociology, economics, philosophy, anthropology, or like you have to have like a theoretical lens on this. And I think it's part of your proposal statement, which will signal kind of what kind of framework you want to undertake. I'm talking about already research proposals, and yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Khairat. Oliver, do you want to comment on any of these?
Okay, let me comment on the two. Having a strong and justifiable motivation to start at GSE. So, because again, these are three specializations. When you are interviewed, let's say for inclusive education, we will be looking at why you want to study not only the MSc for Educational Leadership Program, but your specific specialization. So if you are applying for the specialization, the inclusive education specialization, you would be looking at the motivation for wanting that specialization. So that's one thing that you have to motivate really strongly, not just because your friend has done this program, but exactly what you bring into this program and what you want to take out of this specialization. Then if I can say something regarding the third point, that someone has to have enough experience in the field of education. I think although this is a plus, even those who have no experience in the field of education, I think we have in the past admitted students who don't have experience but have strong motivation of wanting to start this kind of specializations. So yeah, that's what I can say about the
Thank you. Thank you. Alper, because we are stepping over time to my next colleagues, Alper, maybe pick up one of them and comment on them, and we'll conclude.
Thank you, Dushon. I just want to talk a little bit about the last part here. As a potential to use their learning from GSE to make meaningful contribution to the educational development in Kazakhstan and abroad. This is very important in our opinion. So once you have all those skills developed here, it would be great if you could go to the field again and be a change agent in your own institution, in your own profession, in your own environment, just to develop the people of Kazakhstan and develop the country and in a scientific way, and both in a professional and scientific way. So it's not just for you, all those skills, and you'll become a change agent at the end in your own environment, hopefully at the end of this program. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you. And I will not say more, just I will say that, dear friends who are attending this webinar, I think you are also ideal candidate. Don't be overwhelmed by all this criteria. Apply and you will see. And I think it is you always can get consultation, individual consultation. You can also write comments in the chat. We will try to answer. Akarika, I think because we had 3 programs, therefore we a little bit went more time. But I really apologize to Michelle and Miravzal. The floor is back to my colleagues. Akarika. But we will be available here. We will be sitting here and responding to chat questions.
Sure. Okay, I have stopped sharing the screen. So there is no question in the chat. So dear participants, you still have an opportunity to ask questions at the end of the webinar. There will be time when you can ask any of your questions to any of our professors who join here. So if my colleagues are ready, I would like to invite to the floor Dr. Mir Afzal to talk about the PhD in education program. So I think, I've given the rights to share the screen. So, dear Mir, if you can share the screen, let us know.
Hello, colleagues. Sorry, I just got disconnected, but I'm back.
Okay, so Mir, we are inviting you to the floor to talk about the PhD education program. So I think you are able to share your screen, right?
Let me try.
Okay. Yes, we are. We can see that your slide is being connected.
Can you see my presentation? I see something.
We cannot see your presentation, but we see that it is being connected to Microsoft Whiteboard.
That I want to unshare because it by mistake it came.
Okay, so you can try one more time.
For some reason, my presentation is not coming on the screen. How can I unshare this?
You need to stop sharing. Okay, so this is. So there is a demonstration sign on the top of the Teams, which is called share.
Yeah, I have this share, but I don't find the stop sharing.
May I just check on your left-hand side? I think probably there'll be a little red with the cross that says stop sharing.
Yeah, I found. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
pleasure.
I think we are we are all struggling with team.
That's okay.
We got too used to Zoom.
Yes, yeah, that's fine. This is the first time we're using for this kind of event. So would you like to try one more time, Mir?
Yeah, I'm trying to bring my slides, but for some reason, Almira, are you there? Can you share your screen?
Yes, you can do it. Just a second.
Please, if you can share, yeah, it will be quicker. Okay. Thank you, colleagues, especially our guests from Kazakhstan and from other countries. Welcome again. I will be speaking about the PhD program. This is another academic program that we offer at NU GSE. Next slide, please. So this is a 4-year full-time program. What you heard before this from my colleague, those were mainly low residency program, or you can say part-time program, but this is a full-time 4-year program. Successful students are required to be on campus for the first 2 years, because those are the year you will be doing a number of courses and preparing for your proposal. But once you have defended your research proposal, of course, you can go to the site wherever you want to conduct your research study. This program equip students with a variety of skills and in-depth knowledge, understanding of your field, your area of interest, your area of specialization. Once you complete this program, you will be proficient to lead, to work as an educator, as an educational leader or manager or researcher in a variety of roles within your organization. You can contribute to policy making. You can work as policy advisor, and you can also contribute to professional development within your organization. So far, we have graduated 36 students. They have successfully completed their PhD studies. 53 students are currently at different stages of their studies. Hopefully, by the end of this year, we will have maybe 5 to 6 more students defending their thesis. We have good pool of faculty members coming from different parts of the world with different expertise, specialization in different areas within education. Next slide, please. So unlike the PhD program in UK or Australia, where you do your research from day one, we follow a model that is more in the North American system, coursework. We offer rigorous coursework in the first year. Students will be doing a number of research-related courses, research methods-related courses, qualitative study, quantitative study, mixed method, action research, whatever method of research they are interested in and they want to develop their expertise. We also have content-based courses. We offer courses in the area of philosophy of education, educational reform, policy formation, scholarship, and also globalization. These are some of the core courses. Of course, we offer ongoing doctoral seminars, dissertation research seminars. They are kind of ongoing seminars student can have till the end of their study program. Next, please. So these are, this is an overview of the milestone that a student is expected to achieve throughout the 4-year program. As I said, the first year is heavily coursework. Students are required to be on campus. The courses are offered in a semester model. You have 3 hours face-to-face teaching once in a week in a course. And of course, you have independent study hours that you can spend in the library or the study room that we have or at your home or your dormitory. So in 1 week, in the first year, students normally take 4 to 5 courses throughout the semester. And then the second semester, again, there are coursework, but also you will be developing your research topic and you will be working on your research proposal. Second year, students have this unique opportunity to spend 1 semester at an international university, highly reputed international university. So far, our students have gone to University of Cambridge, UK, and University of Pennsylvania in USA. Most of our students have benefited from this study abroad program at one of these universities. And this is fully funded by Nazarbayev University Graduate School of Education. Students do not pay anything for this opportunity. When they go to these highly reputed international universities, there are professors who will be taking care of them. They will have short seminars, short courses, one-on-one consultation with professors who have expertise in the area that the students are interested in. They can interact with other PhD students there. They can participate in seminars and also conferences. and they will spend time in the libraries there, and they will develop their research proposal, come back, and then they will take their qualifying exam. This is the first high-stake milestone the students are expected to achieve. The qualifying exam is a take-home exam. It's 1 week. Within that week, students are expected to write 2 major essays, reflective essays. They are based on their research proposal. It is related to their research topic. Once they pass the qualifying exam, then they will defend their research proposal, and then they can start their field work. They can do the field work wherever they want. There is no restriction that you must do your study in Astana or within Kazakhstan. We have students who can from Ghana. They are doing the study in Ghana. We have students from Pakistan, and we have students from Iraq. They are doing their thesis study in their own countries. So year 3 and year 4 are the data analysis and writing your thesis and defending your thesis. Next, please. These are the program learning outcomes. You can find them in our, on our website. So I would encourage you to please visit our website. You can get more details about application process, details about the program structure, and details about courses, details about faculty members. You can look into the individual faculty profiles there, their research areas. So that would be useful for you when you are applying to our program. Next, please. Okay, so what are the some unique characteristics or unique features in our program? As I mentioned, when you get into this program, you have the opportunity to study in a multicultural context with local, regional, and international faculty and students. Our campus is very multicultural, very diverse. You will find people from, almost all corners of the world. And it's a very stimulating environment. It's, the moment you enter, it is aesthetically very beautiful. And also intellectually very stimulating. You will see study areas all over the campus. Even if you are sitting in one of the cafes or tea shops, you will see students discussing their papers, having fun and learning there as well. So the learning is not confined to the classroom and the courses only. The learning is everywhere. Even if you go to our sports center, which is one of the best facilities in Kazakhstan, I believe, if not in this entire region. We have a very international standard sports center. You can do a lot of activities there, including expanding your learning. We have scholarship and stipend. Students get monthly stipend for their living expenses. Most students do not pay any tuition fee. The university pays for them. And you also get, salaries if you are working as a research assistant or teaching assistant. There are opportunities here for PhD students. Once you are done with your coursework, you can work with professors in their research projects or in their courses, and you get paid. This is quite handsome money that you can get per month. And this unique opportunity to go to one of the international universities, you don't find this opportunity in many universities. If you get this opportunity, you have to pay for that, and many students cannot afford to pay because it's highly expensive. But in our program, the university pays for all costs, including your air travel, your boarding and lodging, and your tuition fee to the international university. Again, there are many other benefits in the program. I cannot, go to those details, but please do visit our website and also talk to our students. I would highly encourage you that you connect with one of our students or alumni. They will tell you from student perspective what this program is like and how different it is from other programs that are offered around the world. Next, please. Okay, so my last slide, who is an ideal candidate? I think anyone who is interested in education, who is committed to advance his or her, career, learning, you can explore the opportunity to be on this program. Depends on the purpose of your future life, the purpose of your career. What do you want to do in life? Okay, and how can our program help you achieve that dream? Since you are, in education, you are either you want to become a teacher educator, researcher, or you want to work in educational leadership and management, you want to work in policy development, you are the ideal candidate to explore our program. Uh, the ideal candidate is the one who is intrinsically motivated to study, passionate learner, also one who has a strong desire to discover and construct knowledge in the specific area of your interest. A candidate who wants to develop critical thinking skills, analytical, skills, one who wants to find out solutions to problem, not just identify problems, but solution to the social problems, educational problems. And also the candidate, ideal candidate is one who is, who wants to develop academic reading, academic writing, one who wants to engage with research, contemporary literature on topic interested to that person. Self-discipline is very important because PhD is a very, a rigorous program. It requires a lot of, reading, a lot of commitment. You will be reading a lot, you will be writing a lot, and you will have short deadlines. You will be attempting so many assignments at the same time. So being self-disciplined, managing your time, and setting your priorities clearly is absolutely important for an ideal candidate. And of course, the candidate will not be alone. You will be working with other colleagues. You will be working with faculty members. You will be working with your advisory committee. So it's important that you know how to work with people from different backgrounds. Acceptance, appreciating diversity, pluralism, these are the values that are important. And of course, ethical conduct. This university places huge importance to ethical conduct in all, affairs, in all matters, not just in doing your research, but being an ethical professional, being an ethical human being is extremely important, and this program can help our student become one. So thank you very much. And one last thing I would like to share with you that in some universities, you will see that you have to identify an advisor and then you apply. But at our university, you don't need to identify the advisor, supervisor at the time of application. We will give you enough time, a whole semester, to come to explore faculty, talk to faculty, know more about their research areas, their expertise. Then you can choose your supervisor. We have advisory committees, so it's not an individual faculty who will be supervising you, but two faculty members will be supervising you. And of course, the doors are always open. You can walk into any faculty office and you can seek guidance anytime. So thank you very much. If you have any other question, you are most welcome to contact us, and I can share my email address also. Other colleagues' email addresses, I'm sure you will have email address of Akarke, Almira. You can approach us through them as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Okay, great. So thank you, Dr. Miravzal, for the presentation about the PhD in Education program. So we have some questions here in the chat. So before, maybe we will answer all questions at the end, okay? Because first, let's give you full information that we have, and after that, specifically, we will answer your questions. So next, I would like to give the floor to our Dr. Michelle Bedecker, who will speak about the MA in Multilingual Education Program. Michelle, the floor is yours. So
thank you. Thank you. Sorry, thank you so much. I'll try to keep it short because I'm not sure how many MA potential candidates we have, but maybe I can steal some of the MSc prospective candidates. So let's see. I'll try and share my screen quickly. Please. Okay. Have you seen my screen? It's flashing.
Not yet. Okay, yeah, something is coming.
It shows loading. Okay, can everyone see it?
Yeah, I think it's slow. Yeah, we can see your screen. Thank you.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to all the prospective GSE students. I'm hoping you will be successful with whichever program you're going to choose. So I'm the program director for the Multilingual Education Program, and I will just give you some quick insights into what multilingual education is all about. And sometimes there's this mistaken belief that if you want to do our program, you need to speak multiple languages, but the focus is really on education and turning languages into objects of study themselves. So a little bit about our program. Our program is designed to empower our prospective students with knowledge and skills and perspectives they need to navigate the complex landscape of multilingual or trilingual education in Kazakhstan. So basically, we start off with global issues and theories, and we try and connect this with the local context and see what's happening in this context. And so, for us as a faculty, we believe that language is not just a tool for communication, but it's a gateway to understand our culture. It's a kind of way to forge our identity, and we feel that through language and with language, we need to champion for social justice. So multilingual education is really about equity, equality, and social justice. And therefore, we recognize the critical importance of language in addressing educational equity, addressing diversity, and social justice issues. So what will this mean for you? It means that in our courses, you will engage in meaningful dialogues and research. You will examine and address the role of language or languages in creating equity, in creating diversity or inequities, and how this can result in social justice within classroom context, school context, universities, even the workplace and in communities. So the kind of underpinning that we give you, the theoretical underpinning, allows you to engage with these issues across various contexts. So what will you develop? We will develop, or we aim to develop, the capacity for you to engage in thoughtful discussions, to articulate your ideas effectively, and to critically reflect on the intricate relationship between language, culture, and our identity. So we try and give you a deeper understanding of the central role that language and culture plays in shaping the self, which is our own identities, the society, the community, and nation building, and then how language and culture plays out in educational spaces, and the importance of language fostering inclusive and culturally responsive learning and teaching environments. So, for example, when we think of the self, we find that some of our students kind of make sense of their own identities, navigating what does it mean to be Kazakh if I'm not proficient in the Kazakh language. Am I a Shala Kazakh? So we have really interesting engagements with these kinds of issues. And some of these students then basically do their research on issues of Russian dominant students and how they are making sense of their own selves and their place and space within the new revitalization of the Kazakh language. So some of them feel that it's a psychological process of understanding themselves and why they see and think of themselves in particular ways when it comes to the language issues in Kazakhstan. So our course is a 2-year full-time course, unlike the MSc courses. So we're fortunate to have our students on campus. So we engage with them full-time for 2 years. They also get a stipend during the 2 years that they are here. So in year 1, we focus on courses such as Foundations in Multilingual Education. So that basically provides a background into how did this whole conversation start in terms of why is multilingualism seen as a resource now, what happened in the field and how has it shifted, and what are the current theories to engage with multilingual education. A second course that's really interesting is Introduction to Linguistics. So we kind of go back to a bit of formal linguistics and applied linguistics and how this can play out within school context, particularly for teachers. A really important course for us is for our students to understand the educational context and reform in Kazakhstan and how language kind of features within that as well. Then we do a course called Research Methods to make sure that you become the scholar and researcher that we envisage our multilingual education students should be. Another course that I think is really crucial and interesting and that really helps our students is Advanced English courses. So in spring, we move away from the theory and we now go a bit to multilingual society, and that is where our students make sense of their own identities and the cultural issues around language. From there, we go back into research methods. It can be quantitative or qualitative. You have the opportunity to do an elective, and again, a lot of support with academic English, and you also do academic Kazakh language courses. In year 2, we have a summer course, independent study that helps you to develop your thesis topic, right? So before you start year 2 in fall, you already have your topic developed, you already have a draft proposal. So in fall, you start with thesis writing, and then now we go into the school, really into the school context in year 2. So multilingual curriculum and assessment, what does this mean? How does language play out? Again, the multilingual school. And so students really start engaging with what does the language, culture, and identity mean? What are teachers' understanding of these issues? And how do they engage with these issues in global and local context? You will have another elective and then academic English throughout. Then in year 2, spring, you do thesis to continue with thesis writing and you work with your supervisors. We then have another course called Language and Literacy Development, academic English. Then summer, you kind of do your thesis, finish your thesis writing and submit in summer as well. And then we all kind of celebrate with you and we say, we did it, right? And we have amazing thesis at the end of those year 2. These are some of the electives that we have. So, for example, first and second language acquisition, globalization and language education. So you have the opportunity to choose based on the electives that we offer for that particular year, you can choose an elective that kind of links with the interest of your potential research. So after completing the program, we believe that our students will be prepared for a range of careers. You could either be a multilingual education researcher, you could become a teacher or a consultant. You could also become a bilingual program coordinator. You could inform language program development in various contexts. You could also become a language policy analyst. So look at a policy, some discourse analysis, and what does this mean? You could become a language education consultant. For those doing a lot of work within family literacies and family language policies, they kind of end up in community engagement specialist and some advocacy work. But most importantly, we expect all our students to be social justice advocates in education, advocating for the rights of language and the rights to make sure that minority languages is expected across all domains in Kazakhstan. So whether you aspire to become a multilingual education, an advocate, or a curriculum developer, or maybe just a policy influencer through a blog, our program equips you to make meaningful impact locally and abroad. So finally, the multilingual education specialization will prepare you for further study in this field in doctoral degrees. And we have a couple of really successful stories of our alumni being accepted at good universities abroad. Recently, we just have another one that's been accepted to study at Cambridge with full scholarship funding. So that is the quality in terms of how they get accepted in other programs after this. So our ideal candidate is somebody that will have experience in teaching Kazakh, Russian, English, and or any other foreign languages as subjects. So you've engaged with this, probably you were teaching. We also value people that have degrees in foreign languages, philology, and pedagogical sciences. We'll probably use somebody that have a real interest in the languages of minority ethnic groups in Kazakhstan. We have some experience of teaching linguistically and culturally diverse students. And you probably, maybe you just have an interest in language policy and language and education issues. So if that is who you are, then we want you. So if you want to switch from MSc to MA, please do so now. So what? So what does this mean? It just means that we need you if you're interested in language-related issues, if you're interested in social justice and how language can contribute to issues of social justice in Kazakhstan. That's what we need you for. So if there are any questions, you can frame them afterwards. But thank you, short and sweet. I'm done now. Thank you, Agerbe.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. Thank you very much. You can stop sharing your screen.
I've done that.
Okay, yeah. I'm very sorry. Okay. This Teams is very slow. That's why it's coming later to me. Okay, so I think we can we can continue our webinar. Here we have our GSE active student, Manat Sergazina, who has joined our webinar. Manat is a second-year MSc in educational leadership student who's studying in within higher education specialization. Manat is also a research assistant here in GSE in the research center, which is called CARSEED. And if I'm not mistaken, Manat is also a editor, right? In the Nazarbayev University Graduate School of Education Research in Education Journal. So if you know, or maybe you don't know, our school has student-led journal, which is called Research in Education, where our students and the students from other universities publish their articles. So Manat is contributing there as well. So now I would like to give the floor to Manat so that she will share her experience of studying and working at NU GSE. Manat, the floor is yours. If you have presentation, you can share. If not, please just talk.
Yeah, sure. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Akhirkia, for this very nice introduction. I will go ahead and share my screen. Hopefully, I can somehow I cannot see my presentation here. Okay, just a second, please. Oh, okay. I think I found it. Yes. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, something is coming very slow. Yeah, we can see. We can see the screen.
Okay, and now I'm going into the presentation mode. Is it full screen now?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I'm here to talk to you about my experience of studying at NU GSE. I'm a second-year master's student here, majoring in higher education leadership. And yeah, I'm generally interested in student success, student retention. My current thesis topic is titled Understanding Undergraduate Student Probation, and it's a mixed method study. I am trying to investigate the contributing factors into student probation, student departure, and etc. So yeah, like Akhirkio has already mentioned, I am again in the process. I mean, I'm a research assistant, part-time research assistant here at CARSEED, which is the abbreviation for Central Asian Research Center for Education Innovation and Transformation. And I have been working as a research assistant since May last year. I have been involved in 2 projects since I have been, part of CARSEED. So the very first project was on exploring STEM students' outbound international mobility in Kazakhstan in the context of, the geopolitical tensions. And this project has come to an end after 9 months, and it's been such a great experience here, but I will talk about it a bit later in more detail. So yeah, and again, I'm also a co-managing editor here at NU GSE Research and Education Journal. So starting off, first thing first, I would like to mention some of the courses that I have taking over these 1.5 year, almost coming towards the end. It's been such a pleasure. We have been able to take key courses on education reform and policy, education management, and a lot of the courses are really concentrated on the context here in Kazakhstan as well as the global context. We have been able to take comprehensive courses on research methods. So we had separate courses for qualitative methods and quantitative methods. I would also like to mention that we had just this, exceptional help from our academic English instructors, courses on academic English and academic Kazakh as well. We have been able to create a very friendly, supportive environment here with my cohort in higher ed and, the whole educational leadership, cohort, not only higher ed, meaning we have had group assignments, discussions, presentations, workshops, and seminars. And this environment has, again, been facilitated by the faculty, very, professional, very helpful, very supportive faculty that we have here at GSE. As well as my peers and the administration. Yeah, I am a part of CARSEED, and I have been able to, gain this firsthand research experience through CARSEED. And this, the first project that I've been involved in, which I talked about briefly in the beginning, has already come to an end, and now I am involved in another project. Yeah, and it's been such a great experience. I have been able to, have this poster presentation and organize a seminar on the findings of the first project, which is now on the well-being of, early childhood education and well-being in the positive education. I'm trying to move forward, but I think I've moved. Okay. Here's the new NU GSE Research and Education Journal. Mostly my responsibilities here range from, quality control, making sure that the manuscripts of authors get peer reviewed, not only once, but twice at least. We make sure that the alumni, the current students, and the education community overall here in Kazakhstan are able to contribute to the knowledge dissemination, of education research. And it has been, again, a great experience so far. Yeah, and besides that, we have a lot of events and activities here at NU. So, for instance, this is very, something that was very valuable for me. I was able to attend higher education and science, forum on the development of higher education and science, and it took place in here at Nazarbayev University, and it was very valuable and informative for me. I think this was a great experience to hear our minister talk about where we are headed, the future directions of higher education. And I don't know if that's important to you, but it is very important for me. I'm very much fond of the infrastructure here at NU. I try to take advantage of the very nice facilities that we have. For instance, here the swimming pool. It's Olympic size. It's very nice, and I try to go there as often as possible. This work-life balance, and we have very nice study spaces. A lot of study spaces. In fact, we have library, and I try to make use of the services that the library provides as much as possible as well. Yeah, and if you have any other questions, please let me know. I think it's just summing up, I've had this exceptional experience here at NU GSE. It ranges from, the faculty support, the peer support, the opportunity to learn, deeply immerse myself into the context of higher education here in Kazakhstan, have the support, have the opportunity, have the infrastructure to realize my plans and aspirations. Yeah, and this is overall, that's it. Yes, and if you have any questions, please let me know. I think I will stop sharing my screen.
Okay, thank you, Mana.
Sure.
So I just want to warn all participants. I think there mustn't be a limit on Teams regarding the time. But if there is, if we are all thrown away, please join the Teams with the same link, okay? Okay, so Mana, thank you very much. And I would like to ask if Stas is here. Stas, are you here? If you're here, please let me know. If Stas hasn't joined us yet, then I will invite here Alua from the admissions department, our colleague, to talk about the application, about submission of application form, about completing it correctly. So dear participants, you can ask all your questions regarding application to Alua, so she will kindly respond to all of your questions. Alua, if you are here.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, please, you can share your screen.
Okay, please wait a little bit. I will open my presentation.
Okay. Yes, we can see your presentation.
Yeah, it's a little bit glitchy, I think.
Yeah. Okay, we can see your screen, Alua.
Okay, first of all, I want to remind you about the deadlines. For international applicants for master programs, deadline is February 29 at 1 p.m. by Astana time. And for locals is April 18, also by 1 p.m. by Astana time. For PhD applicants, our deadline is March 4th, and for local applicants, it's April 22. We also have a separate deadline for IELTS TOEFL result submission. It's March 15. And for international, for local master program applicants, it's May 3rd. And PhD applicants for internationals, March 18, and for locals, May 6. And after that, our department, admission department, after the deadline closes, application closes, we starting to review and check your applications. It's take approximately 2 or 3 weeks after the online application closes. And then our admission committee starting to evaluate applicants. It also take 2 or 3 weeks after review by the admission department. For example, for this year, for international applicants, interview and evaluation process will start from the end, from the beginning of April and ends in the end of April, in the middle of April. And for PhD applicants, is quite same. And regardless of final decision of the admission committee, you will be informed about the status of your application. Okay, next one. Also, there is some minimum requirements for the programs. For masters is to have GPA 2.75, IELTS score is 6.5 with no less than 6 points in subscores. Also, 1 year work experience. Also, admission committee can consider less. And 2 recommendation letters. For PhD applicants, it's competitive GPA, IELTS score 7.0, and with subscores no less than 6.5, 2 years of work experience, and 3 recommendation letters. Also, applicants can be exempted from providing IELTS or TOEFL results if they graduated from English speaking country, and if they get undergraduate or graduate degree in program which officially taught in English. In this case, applicants must provide official confirmation from the previous university of study. And Nazarbayev University graduates no need to provide confirmation document. The transcript will be enough for us. Also, we have a 0-year program that can offer applicants that have meet all the minimum requirements, but their IELTS scores is little lower. For overall test score is 6.5, and with no more than 1 subscore, 5.5. List of documents for master and PhD programs is a completed application form, ID or passport, bachelor master diploma with a transcript, IELTS or TOEFL results. If you have exemption, no need to upload it, CV, personal statement, and reference letters. And also PhD applicants must upload research proposal. So how to apply, how to submit your application. First of all, you need to go to our portal, admissions.nu.edu.kz, and register there. Select your academic level and program of your interest. Then you will see step 1. There will be your application form. You should fill it out. Also, you have to upload your photo. In the profile section, you can see there is instruction on how to apply. Please read it carefully. Then you'll see application form. You should complete it. When you complete your application form, please check your name, first name, last name, please fill it according to your documents. When you complete all the 9 pages, please press upload button. Then your application will be saved and you will see it in your personal account. Then you should attach all the required documents. To finalize the application process, you should click to pay and submit application button to pay application fee and submit application. Application fee for local applicants for now it's 10,000 tenge, but it will be increased 3 times when applicants paid the last 2 weeks before the deadline. So it will be 30,000 tenge. For international applicants, it's already 30,000 tenge. You can pay by your card, by Samsung Pay or Google Play. If you need to upload your IELTS or TOEFL results, you should go to the Upload IELTS TOEFL results section. Then you can enter your TRF number of your IELTS certificate, and then your scores automatically will appear if your test center send us your IELTS result, electronic IELTS results. Then choose your scanned version of IELTS certificate and press Save button. And I want to tell you about some tips. Please regularly check your email because admissions department will contact you by email. And if you will be recommended for admission or something with your documents will be wrong, we will write to your email. Also, don't forget to click to submit and pay and submit application button, because without this, we cannot consider you. And also, you can visit open.nu.edu.kz for videos from our staff, faculty members, students, and alumni. And my last slide, it's about if you have questions about master programs, you can contact directly to our email address and to admissions.jc@nu.edu.kz. And for PhD programs, please contact us to the email phd_admissions@nu.edu.kz. If you have questions about your applications, I'm gonna answer it.
Okay, thank you very much, Aloha. The participants, do you have any questions to Aloha here? If you have, you can mute yourself and ask any questions or chat here, and we will raise them.
Or you can raise your hand.
Yeah. But if you still have questions, dear candidates, you can leave your question here. But for now, I would like to invite to the floor our notable alumni member, Stanislav Khanin. Stas, thank you very much for joining us here today, for agreeing to share your experience with our candidates, future our GSE students. So if you have presentation, you can share it, or otherwise you can just present and talk. Yeah, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Akirke. Thank you. Do you hear and see me well?
Yes, yes, we can hear and see you well.
Perfect. Pleasure to see all of you, and honored to be here. And I will be glad to tell you more about my experience at GSE and what I do professionally right now. So my name is Stas, as you know, and I'm a lead game designer at Clever. What I do educational games, and game designer, it means that I create concepts of these games. I think about how educational concepts going to be delivered for these games. I think about games economy, games content, all kinds of stuff that constitute games. On Clever, we do games that are dedicated to critical thinking, fact-checking. They more generally teach media information literacy, and our platform is available in Central Asia. That's what I do professionally. My connection with GSE is that I completed 2 programs there. I did my master's in educational leadership, and later I did my PhD program. I couldn't get into the PhD program straight from the beginning, so I took one gap year. I got myself ready and I applied again, and I finally finished it. It took me 6 long years, but finally done. When I applied Nazarbayev University, when I applied for my master's, it was 2015. It was a pretty new university. It didn't have this reputation yet. Now it's a different story, and I can totally say that you will grow professionally, academically here, and if you can, you should apply. And let me just share my piece of advice of what it's like to be in both of these programs and what they can give to you. So, my short overview of a master's program. The master's program is great for entering a research field, and you will be well equipped with various skills after you graduate. You will learn how to be productive, work in a team, and write much better. Master's, it was a really challenging time for me, and I got through it because I was persistent and I asked for help. And my group mates, they taught me a lot. And I think it's an important point. Any of these degrees, it's also about making connections with people. And I strongly advise you to use this opportunity. Some of these people will be your best friends. Some of these people will be your colleagues in the future. So please go on and network more. The PhD program, it will let you look at many things at much deeper level, and you will have a philosophical edge on many things you previously took for granted. The program will make you an expert in a certain field, in a particular theme that you choose for your dissertation. And think about this theme wisely, and think about how you're going to use this experience and expertise after you graduate. For example, I wrote my PhD on digital games and how we can use them to develop critical thinking. And here I am. I do games that teach critical thinking. So think through this connection. It's really important, and it's gonna lend you a job after you finish a program if you think through it wisely. Okay, I can also say that there are 2 areas of expertise that helped me a lot professionally after I graduated. First, it's research methods, both qualitative and quantitative. Be sure to spend as much time as possible digging into these both themes. Statistics can be challenging, I know, but just take more time, just read more, just try more. You will master it. Google, please, the book by Andy Fields. That's the one that helped me a lot. The second thing that helped me a lot professionally is philosophy of education more generally. Please dig into epistemology and ontology, and you will be much better specialist in whatever you do, knowing the roots of your science or activity. Some more small pieces of advice. One more thing I can recommend is to be strategic in your decision to join any of these programs. Don't just do it because you want a degree. There should be a better plan. You should think through how you're going to use it after you graduate. And masters will be tough, and a PhD is a huge time and life commitment. So don't go into it without having a proper aim. And next advice is find your books. If something is challenging, it may mean simply that you are not reading a proper book or that something is poorly written. For example, I just couldn't tackle philosophy of education until I found a book by Nell Noring's Philosophy of Education. So find your books and your life will be much easier. I can advise you to use productivity software. The basic one is Pomodoro timer. Make sure to create comfortable environment and eat well, please. And the last piece of advice is to participate in social life of Nazarbayev University. It's really amazing. I tried to make it short, so you can ask me more questions. So please go on. I think that's the core of what I wanted to share with you.
Okay, Stas, thank you very much. Thank you, dear colleagues, for joining here and sharing about your experience and talking about the GSE programs. So most of the questions were addressed in the chat, and I think we've covered all of them. But dear participants, future maybe GSE students, applicants, if you have questions, please raise your hands here. Or if you cannot talk, just write them, leave them in the chat. So we'll be happy to answer them.
Sure, and I will be here till the end, so you can ask me later if you wish.
Yeah.
If there are none, we can go on with the next presenter, and I will be happy to answer them later.
Stas, you were the last presenter.
Got it. Good.
Yes, all speakers have covered their topics. So Tlio Gavel has raised his hand. Please, Tlio Gavel, go ahead.
Okay, hi everyone, good day. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
We do.
So first of all, I'd like to tell you all of you thank you so much. So it was kind of a motivation for us to apply for university. So just in case, I have a couple of questions for you. And the first question, it's fact actually that there's 5 universities for researching. So is it necessary to have some research background before applying to the university, or not? It's not necessary.
Tlio Gavel, you are talking about what program?
So I'm talking about educational leadership master's program.
Okay, maybe Dushon, you can answer this question. Or Oliver. Okay. Alper, who can answer this question? Okay, but I
can answer.
Yeah, please, Alper, go
Please,
ahead.
Akarke, go ahead.
Okay, so Tlio Gavel, thank you for your question. Well, research experience is necessary for PhD in education students who are applying for PhD, but for if you have research experience while applying for MSc master's programs, that will be good. That will maybe increase your opportunities, but otherwise we don't have such a requirement. If you have it, please state that experience in your CV, in your maybe motivational letter. That will, if you think that will help you to increase your chances to be enrolled in the program. Otherwise, there is no such a requirement. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
is that all? Okay, thank you so much. I got you. Yeah.
Okay. Professor Dishon has just left his comment here. In master students, we will teach you how to do research. But if you already have this experience and skills, that will be good as well. Okay, next question. Dear applicants, any questions from your sides? Well, I think our webinar was very clear. Yeah, it was. I think it's been very informative. We are going to upload this session into our website, into our YouTube channel, Facebook as well. If you didn't have a chance to join us earlier, so you can rewatch the session. And if you have questions, you can always email us. We will answer you. So if there is no question, I think we can finalize the session, right? Okay. So thank you very much for all for joining the session and for making your own contribution. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Goodbye. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Goodbye.